Let's talk about this next. Well, this has been the talk of the town as of late, hasn't it? Read it and weep, everybody. The When We Were Young Festival shares the perfect emo throwback lineup. I don't know if you guys have been seeing, but this show poster has been just about everywhere over the past week. This has been like one of the most ridiculous points of discussion on the internet for the past few days. And I can see why. Again, this is the When We Were Young Festival, advertised to play out in Las Vegas, October 22nd. It's going to be a one-day festival, and it has all these names: My Chemical Romance, Paramore, AFI, The Used, Bring Me the Horizon, Taking Back Sunday, Dashboard Confessional, Alkaline Trio, some real classic artists here, as well as All American Rejects, and Avril Lavigne, Bright Eyes, Jimmy Eat World. I think I see Glassjaw's thing in there as well. But look, they have some newer bands as well. La Dispute is in the mix. They're in here. Wonder Years, Wolf Alice, Neck Deep. Who else is in there? I said Bring Me the Horizon. Lil Huddy. Lil Huddy's in the mix. The TikTok kids are going to go crazy. 303 is going to this fucking thing. The Lindas, Hawthorne Heights. I don't know why I can't talk. Silverstein, Sleeping with Sirens. Knocked Loose is going to be there. Knocked Loose is going to go. Oh, man. Car seat headrest is going to this thing? What the fuck? The story so far? This is actually kind of a cool fest. Manchester Orchestra. You guys know them going to be front fucking row for Dance Gavin Dance. So yeah, this is like a ridiculous kind of lineup. For a one-day festival, 3 stages. Okay, 3 stages, one day. All these bands, everything over here is happening over the course of like a 12-hour period or so. I've seen a few people online do the math because, look, these are like on this poster here, on this jam-packed fucking poster, these are dozens and dozens of artists on these 3 stages. And, somebody did the breakdown saying that it leaves about like 30 minutes per artist if we actually roll through all of these artists over a 12-hour period or so for one single day. And even if you stretch it out a little bit longer, that's still not that much more time. And you have to assume that like some of the headliners and sub-headliners over here, like My Chemical Romance and Avril and Paramore, like they're not going to be playing 30-minute sets. They're not going to be playing. No, it's 3 stages. They're not going to be playing 30-minute sets. They're not going to be playing like, even 40-minute sets. Like My Chemical Romance, they're going to be playing like an hour-long set. You think people want to go to this festival and see Paramore play for 20 fucking minutes? Like, of course not. So that leaves even like less time for a lot of the bands who are lower on the totem pole here. And again, like seeing somebody do the math, like they kind of added it up to 30, maybe 45 if they're lucky, minute time blocks for every single artist here. And that includes setup and breakdown. So like, how exactly is this going to play out in a way where it's not like a total fucking shit fest? Unless each stage has like a rotating stage where one band can be on the front and doing their thing, and then everybody else is sort of on the other side of it getting set up, so that as soon as the one set is done, it just turns. I mean, that would be kind of cool and super convenient, but I have they are rotating. I would hope so, because you're losing a lot of the rumors rotating stages. I would hope so, because you're like losing a lot of time. You're losing a lot of time, setting up and breaking down over 3 stages with everybody that's here. And look, the amount of artists that are at this thing, it's kind of a shame. Like, even if they do actually find ways to get everybody to play a decent amount of time, where maybe you get like 30 to 40 minutes of like actual full set time for every artist, or at least like the major artists here. It's still kind of a shame to have everybody here playing on one single day, because that's going to necessitate that you're going to miss some of your favorite artists here. You know what I mean? Like if you're really into, this era of music and these bands and kind of the, aesthetic wave that they represent, like, you're going to be missing out on a lot of these groups just to see, a couple or see some of your favorites, because there's just not that much of an opportunity because there's so many people playing on one single day. This is like an amount of artists that you would see over the course of 2 days. I think at like, a normal festival, you know what I mean? If you stretched it out to 3, maybe you'd be kind of pushing it. It's not like, it's not a Coachella lineup, but like, I think this would be a lot easier to kind of like, bite off some decent scheduling, at least as like a festival goer. If this was more of a 2-day thing, if this is a 2-day thing, you could see pretty much all of your favorites and, maybe a few other smaller bands and maybe not be, upset that you missed anybody. But on one single day, you're going to be like missing more artists than you actually want to see. You're really going to have to like try to whittle it down to like your 3 or 4 most favorites and, and just, I don't know, just like cross your fucking fingers. And, with it being 3 stages, are My Chemical Romance and Paramore going to be playing at the same time? Because again, they have to fit it all within a certain block of time. And if they're not playing at the same time, if it's My Chemical Romance playing singularly, and then it's Paramore playing singularly one after the other, that leaves even more like overall set time for everybody who's underneath. So it just seems like it's kind of a mess. Oh my God. Somebody said, no schools within 200 feet. And then there's sort of like that toxic element of, the kind of reputation that dogged some of the artists that would play like Warped Tour and everything. And there's like a weird cross section of like, older bands, but then also younger bands and audiences. And that also seems like it could turn into something not all that great too. This thing just doesn't seem the best. And there's been a lot of talk as well about, obviously, Live Nation is handling this thing. And Live Nation was, also, tied up in the Astroworld debacle. And I've said this before on stream, if not, on stream on social media, that, while I understand a lot of the ire and some of the, like the pariah status Travis Scott has, gained in the wake of the Astroworld tragedy, because obviously, that's terrible, and Travis Scott, bears the brunt of that, at least to a degree. And, if people don't like Travis Scott or have feel some type of way about Travis Scott over, the tragedy of that festival, I think that's understandable. But I think as far as like, functioning as a business entity and, maintaining reputation, like Live Nation's kind of gone through this unscathed. Like, sure, they're going to be shelling out like tons of money when the lawsuits come down the pipe. But, nobody is like, really, we didn't really have like a wider discussion about like, yeah, I'm not going to a Live Nation show again. Like, would your average person today still go to a Travis Scott concert? Probably not. Probably not, because obviously the first thing they think in their head is Astroworld. But like, would you go to another Live Nation concert? I feel like there hasn't really been too broad of a discussion about, that worry and that legitimate concern. So Live Nation has publicly addressed safety concerns with the When We Were Young festival, because so many of the fans from the emo scene and the post-hardcore scene said, "Oh, hey, wait, this is Live Nation. That's kind of weird, isn't it?" And of course, like Live Nation is now trying to jump in front of it and being like, "Hey, like it's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. This event's gonna be organized real good." And I think you have to kind of wonder, can you trust Live Nation at this point? It's definitely worth wondering about. While I understand Live Nation is a large entity with a lot of turning gears, and most likely this festival and many others, festivals and various concerts under the Live Nation umbrella were planned long in advance of Astroworld even happening. Still, anything past that point, I think should be looked at a little skeptically. And if you do go to any of these shows, which I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. But if you do go to any of these shows, I mean, maybe be extra careful and extra skeptical of your surroundings, and do some due diligence to make sure that you're hydrated and in safe areas, and also keeping an eye out for safety personnel, medical tents. If there is any kind of skimping on any of that stuff, and you do happen to be at any of these events, maybe even document it. Let the internet know, and if it's still an issue, I think it's an important one to uncover, because honestly, these corporations like Live Nation, they're not going to fly right, and they're not going to do right by customers, and they're not going to right their ways unless there's any kind of public pressure on them to do so. So if you do go to this festival, I'm not telling you definitely don't, but if you do go to this festival, just for shits and giggles, and just to see what happens, and maybe you do really want to hit that My Chemical Romance setup, just to see what's going on over there and see if anything looks kind of sketch. So, yeah, When We Were Young, there we go. There's the again the wonderful poster right there. Hey, I would love to go there and throw down in the Knocked Loose pit. I would absolutely love that. And and the MCR set is for sure going to be lit. So there you go. And I would cry to May Day Parade as well. So there you go. Have fun. Have fun to anybody who finds themselves at the When We Were Young festival. So yeah, I think that's at least a couple of things that I wanted to. Thank you very much for watching this clip on TND Streams. To see more, subscribe to the channel, and also click on the video link next to my head. Also, make sure to check out our other YouTube channels linked down below to see everything else we do week to week. And yeah, that's it. Anthony Fantano, forever.